Did you know your subconscious mind is actually hiding useful information from you? And it's not doing it to be malicious, but instead it's doing it because it wants you to be safe right now in this moment. But in the process of keeping you safe in this moment and prioritizing this moment, what it's actually doing is it's preventing long-term healing and transformation. So today, as we continue the series on how to find root causes of our issues, I'm going to share with you one simple, easy phrase that is so useful in unlocking that subconscious mind so it gives us the information about how we can create long-term transformation. This is Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 561, originally aired June 1st, 2023. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to join me. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Like I said, today what we're going to do is we're going to share one really simple phrase that you can use not only when you are trying to uncover stuff in yourself, but when you want to be helpful to someone else. If you're a practitioner or if you're just a caring friend, this one phrase gives us information that we don't have access to. Now, as we navigate our way through this conversation today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about tapping. Tapping is the tool that I love to use after I've uncovered those limiting beliefs in our subconscious mind. If you are new to tapping, all you need to do is follow the little red arrow in the upper right-hand corner. It will take you to learn2tap.com. It will teach you all of the basics. So as we're working our way through this tool set and you hear me talking about tapping and I demonstrate it a little bit, it's going to be super easy for you to follow along. Now, one of the things that's really important for us to recognize is the fact that the subconscious's primary job is to keep us safe. Because the subconscious mind was developed thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago when our existence was much rougher and much harder. And because that's the case, the subconscious mind is thinking about this moment right now, what we are experiencing right now, how we are navigating through the world right now. And because that is the case, it makes it really easy for it to be short-sighted because it is just thinking about what is in the environment around us. And one of the ways that it really works on this and it thinks about this is it thinks about it in terms of storing and saving and conserving energy. And the reason why that is so important is if we live in an uncertain world where there's all sorts of dangers around every single corner, then we're in a circumstance that we want to have as much energy and as much focus and as much ability in the moment when something goes wrong. And so one of the ways that the subconscious mind ensures that this happens is it decides to only go after things that are certain, because it doesn't want us to be pursuing something that might not work out. It doesn't want us to start a plan that we might not be able to be successful at because it's afraid I'm going to be working on this plan. I'm going to spend a bunch of energy. It's not going to work out. And then real danger is going to show up. And when that real danger shows up, I'm going to be in a circumstance where I'm not going to have what I need to do that. And so what this creates is a real sense of perfectionism that is existing in the subconscious mind because it wants to make sure, it wants to be certain before we make any move that we know exactly what is coming, exactly what is in front of us. I'm sure you've seen this where you've had a bunch of things on your to-do list and you felt so overwhelmed that you've just magically wandered away and moved on to something else. And the reason that this is happening is your subconscious mind sees this giant to-do list, and because it's giant and you can't do it all, it decides, I'm not going to fail by not even starting at all. So that makes a lot of sense, but what does that have to do with the subconscious mind hiding information from us? Well, the way that that shows up is when we are trying to transform our issues. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find the reason why we're acting the way that we are. What is the memory from the past that is informing us? What is the cultural belief that we have taken on? What is the story that exists in our subconscious mind that is preventing us from taking action or moving forward? Because most of the work I do with my clients is helping them to eliminate those things that are preventing them from taking action and creating authentic lives. Well, the reason the subconscious mind is hiding information from us is it doesn't want us to be in a situation where I spend a bunch of time and a bunch of energy trying to create transformation and it not working out. or it being the wrong issue. And then I've spent all this time and all this energy on something that doesn't bear fruit. And so I've wasted time, I've wasted energy, so that when real danger shows up, I can't handle it. So I have found one simple phrase that is just magical, that springs forth information from the subconscious mind. And it's going to seem a little silly, but when we break it down, you're going to see why it makes sense. And so the phrase is, I know you don't know the answer to this, but if you did, and then we ask some sort of question. And what that does in that little bitty phrase is it removes the ability of us having to be perfect. Because oftentimes it's like, well, what's the answer? Like, I don't know. What's the answer? If I do this or I do that, and we feel stuck inside of that. But if we say, I know you don't know the answer to this question, just guess. And the really interesting thing is, not only does this work when we're working with our subconscious mind, not only does this work when we're working with a client, but this is actually something that you can employ anywhere in your life when you're trying to get information from someone else. And I don't mean trick them, but trying to help them to solve the problem. You can ask a friend, I know you don't know the answer to this, but if you did, what do you think would be the best course of action? And when you do this to another person, and I think it's useful for you to try it once with someone in your life, because you're actually going to see them change and you're going to see them relax, so that as they are answering the question, they recognize the fact there's not a right or wrong answer. You know the difference between someone asking you a test where you have to have it right, or someone saying, hey, could you just guess? What do you think about this? When I'm asked to guess about something, it's so much easier for me. And so when we are tapping, when we are trying to uncover something, for me, using that phrase is really, really valuable. And so this is how it works when we're doing work on ourselves. So let's pretend I am not taking an action. And so the way that I then lean into that is I tune into that particular action I'm tapping, and I just acknowledge the fact, okay, I want to take this action. I'm not taking this action. I don't know why I'm not taking this action, but if I did, why am I not taking this action? Or something else. It's like, I have a piece of resistance and I don't know what that resistance is. If I did know what that resistance is, what would it be? And so what I'm doing when I'm framing it that way is I'm giving myself permission to guess about what is going on. And because we have stepped away from this all or nothing proposition of having it be right, information comes forward so much easier. And I know this works, not only because of my own experience, but oftentimes when I'm working with a client and they're stuck on something and we're on a Zoom meeting and I can see their face and I can see them thinking and I can say, I know you don't know the answer to this, but if you did, why aren't you taking action? And you'll see them kind of go, well, it's because. And I love it when I see surprise on my client's face, because what that means is an unexpected piece of information sprung forward from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind, which makes it so much easier for us to take action. And again, like I said, this isn't something that you can use just while you're tapping. You can do this when you're trying to figure out something for yourself, or you can do it working with a client or just being a supportive friend. If someone is going, I don't know why I can't, I don't know why I'm stuck, just ask them, I know you don't know why you're stuck, but if you did, why are you stuck? And again, by just taking that half step back, taking the pressure off of having to be perfect, all of a sudden information comes forward. So it is really, really that simple. All you need to do when you're trying to find some information from yourself or someone else, just say, I know you don't know the answer, but if you did, what is it? And you're going to be shocked and amazed how easy it is to get more information coming forward. So I hope you like that little bitty tool. We're continuing this series on how we can find root causes. If you haven't checked out the other parts in the series, all you need to do is click right there on the screen right now. You'll see a link to the playlist of all of the root cause finding tools. Until next time, this is Monterastelli. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.